give a brief introduction to our speaker, Mr. Subhash Chandra. Mr. Chandras has been on the retail scene for more than 35 years and selling mobile phones for almost 2 decades. He is also the president of the Bangalore Mobile Retailers Association. Last year, the Delhi-based Institute of Economic Studies conferred him the IES Udyog Ratan Award. Sangeeta Mobiles has largely been a brick-and-mortar success story. However, since 2013, he has been selling handsets online through shopnumber47.com. It has its own meaning, and delivering handsets within 47 minutes in select cities. So that is why actually 47.com. In 2013, he launched his own set of feature phones, tablets and accessories through Warm Mobiles. Sangeeta Mobiles is the family of 2,500 and he is happily leading it to many more milestones through innovation and enterprises. In 1974, Mr. Chandra's father opened a small music store in Bangalore and aptly named Sangeeta. It's the music. The turning point for Sangeeta and him was 1997. That is when it became Sangeeta Mobiles, because the family decided to only sell mobile phones and have stuck to it till date. Sangeeta Mobiles is a brick and mortar success story, and many of us know that. Today they don't just sell mobiles, but moreover a customer experience, and strongly believe in care. Customer are really everything. Today Sangeeta Mobiles has an annual turnover of more than 1,570 crores and with 500 plus showrooms across 8 states and 2,500 plus employees. It sells 1.5 million phones a year, making it one of the India's largest offline mobile retailers. Which is the competitive world. Actually, he is one of the competitor, and actually he is leading in the show. With this introduction, with a brief introduction, I please join me in welcoming Mr. Chandra to the podium for his presentation.
Good evening and vanakkam. So, first of all, I am sorry that is a dated information. It didn't get updated. Somebody has given a little dated information. Sangeeta is now present in across 800 stores, not 500 stores as it said. And shopnumber47.com was one of the initiatives that we had undertaken in the year 2013 when Amazon and Flipkart were breathing down the retailers' necks, and they were really going after cutting the prices and killing every retail. அப்போ வந்து சங்கீதா பேர்லேயே ஆன்லைனில் குறைச்சி சேல் பண்ணால் சங்கீதா ஸ்டோர்ஸில் அது எஃபெக்ட் ஆகும் இல்லை. 99% or 95% of the business used to happen from the stores, and online we could take Amazon, Flipkart in most of the models head on pricing those days, because nowadays there is no problem. Nowadays in fact our prices are cheaper than Amazon and Flipkart, but successfully they have established that online cheaper அப்படின்ட்டு customer mindல வந்து they have implanted that very strong impression. They have done it beautifully, I must say that. So அதனால shopnumber47.com அப்படின்னு சொல்லி we started. It was because we were figuring out the name, and then we said, okay, what is there in a name? Our first store 1974 la open panna store வந்து was door number 47, At that time I was 47. I was living in door number 47. And my name is Subhash Chandra, and we got independence in 47. So I said, okay, shop number 47. And having named it shop number 47, we said, okay, can we deliver in 47 minutes? So then we said, no, probably it may be too much. And we said, okay, let's deliver in 1 hour, 47 minutes. So we did that campaign, we built that company, it was doing quite well. And actually, I must confess, my son who studied in UK and returned and said, no, the experience nalla illa, the site nalla illa. He demolished the site, and by then, it took a long time to rebuild and get back. And then by then, the government of India changed the rules. They came with regulatory changes where Amazons of the world, Flipkart of the world could not disturb the prices the way they used to do earlier. So adanal the shop number 47 is now history. Now today, sangeethamobiles.com per we do pan-India online business is happening. In fact, we have recently launched a new site. We are yet to make a big announcement about it. We offer all upgrades pan-India, sitting at home, exactly like Amazon, Flipkart. You can, I'll come to the main subject, digitization. I had to clarify on those things. And so you can order, including an exchange of your old phone. The guy who is coming to deliver the new phone can pick up the old phone. You can buy through various NBFC finances sitting at home anywhere in India. For example, apart from Amazon and Flipkart, Sangeetha is the only one in the country today in the online space where Bajaj Finance, for example, which is the number one NBFC, using a Bajaj, if you are a Bajaj Finance existing EMI card holder, pan-India, anywhere, even sitting in Kashmir, you can place an order on sangeethamobiles.com. Through Bajaj Finance, you can buy it, you can get it delivered. And anywhere in South India, we are delivering in 2 hours. That is our USP again. So I wanted to clarify on that. We are, in fact, 3,000 plus employees, and we are across, starting from Karnataka, we started in Karnataka. We have 300 plus stores in Karnataka, and Karnataka we are clearly Sangeetha is the number one, followed by Andhra and Telangana. Also we have 300 plus stores. Tamil Nadu we are definitely not number one. We have our friends who are leading and bigger than Sangeetha. We have a lot of work to do in Tamil Nadu. So, and then we are there in Pondicherry. We are the first ones from among the other players in South to go to Goa. Then we are also there in Ahmedabad. So all our stores are company-owned stores. We are a family-run business, and we are a 48-year-old company, as was mentioned, 1974. And as the name says, gramophone lenda start panni, smartphone varikyam. This has been the journey. So I keep saying, around your ears for 48 years, from gramophone to smartphone. That's been our journey. And now I'm here to talk about digitization. With all this white beard, Nana digitization pati pesa pora. In fact, the youngsters are supposed to be talking about it, ideally speaking. But then, I wanted to send my son, but probably I get some respect with this white beard, and when I say something, probably it is heard with better attention, and that is the reason I am here. So I'll try to, do whatever the best I can. So Sangeetha's story has been, okay, first let me just a couple of lines about myself. 1974 we opened as a music store. 1982 we started selling televisions. Solitaire television was very famous those days. We started with Solitaire, Onida, Sony, etc. We sold the first computer in the country. We were the first retailer of computer through a proper store. Then we were the largest retailer of pagers in the country. We used to sell more than 300 pagers per month. And therefore, because we were selling pagers, one-way communication. So two-way communication, mobile vandadu. I was the first retailer in the country to sell a phone with a bill and warranty. So that's why the tagline says pioneer then. Indeed, in fact, on the tagline on the logo mobile so we have tried to maintain our leadership. Yes, in some states we are not the leader, but by and large, Pan India, Sangeeta is the largest mobile retailer, having 800 stores. Now coming to the digitization, there are many learned people. Some of the questions that you were asking and some of the subjects that you were talking, definitely, and I was just mentioning as I entered the hall, most of these seminars I attend more to learn from you, from the other fellow participants, rather than to share anything. By virtue of being in the industry and running a large organization, I get invited to such events and asked to express my experience. So I'll try to do my best. I'll try to do my best on that. So I'm a retailer. If some of the retailers who are sitting here, maybe they may be able to relate to the digitization aspects that we are using in our company better than some of the other industries. In fact, generally there is a reluctance to use technology, to digitize, because we have not, it doesn't come very naturally to us. We are all born before technology happened in India. Today's kids, it comes very naturally to them, isn't it? So it needs a lot of effort and you have to push yourself mentally to actually implement, because everything costs money, and when you have to spend money and you don't know the result exactly as to how it would, what it would give, what are the benefits that you are going to get out of what you are going to do. Some of the very basic fundamental things that we have used, like for example, in a retail business, generally what happens, business nalla illa nethu, so sir, inga sir, walk in illa sir. This is the standard answer. I have some of my people here, and this is the usual, very standard stuff. I'm sure some of the other friends who are from retail will be able to very easily relate to it, except if they themselves are sitting in the store, if they are a chain store and if the staff are running it. The easiest answer and the most standard answer is walk-in illa sir. So the first thing that we thought that we have to address is we have moved into a times where we can't have those huge pillar-like things, what we used to see in shopper stops of the world, which are tracking the footfalls. So when we wanted to digitize, we were assuming that it would be a very tough exercise, but to our pleasant surprise, the existing cameras that were already there could be enabled with a software connected to them. And today in Sangeeta, we are able to track what time of the day the store was opened, what time of the day the store got closed, how many footfalls happened, how many men walked in, how many women walked in, and this definitely we have the data with us. So the guys can't get away by fooling us, saying the walk-ins illa appdinu solli. We are able to challenge them. Of course, we had to try a lot of companies before because most of the companies, whatever the solutions they gave, the real picture versus, I guess, things are evolving there also. So finally, we are very happy, and we use, incidentally, the software that a provider is a Coimbatore born, headquartered in Chennai, the walk-in tracker. So now this is about the walk-ins. So walk-ins track paniyach. Then how do you track conversions? So 100 per vandare, only 50 people, but the bills are only 50. You have the ERP, and the ERP shows you how many bills are done. So how do you the next question is, then we have a CRM which we are using. Every store guy is asked to enter the customer's name and number as soon as he enters the store. It's still a huge exercise to bring that culture into our boys. It's all work in progress still, I must accept and confess. But believe me, we are seeing some extraordinary results. So what happens is, they enter the name of the customer, they enter the mobile number. So at the end of the day, first and foremost, the CRM and the ERP have shaken hands already. So Enella bill agumo, whatever is billed is anyway tracked in the CRM, gets tracked in the CRM, even if the fellow has not entered the customer's name and number on the CRM app. Once the billing happens, any which way it gets recorded. There is a total walk-in tracker minus the billed handsets or whatever. So the rest of the customers who have not transacted, one, we are able to question them. Two, we are able to send them reminders, send them different communication for the next 7 days. In fact, we keep tapping the customer for the next 7 days. Sometimes, in fact, very genuine use case scenarios are, customer walks in, he asks for a particular model. Classic example, easiest example, Apple 14 Pro Max. All over the world, everywhere it is in shortage. 14 Pro Max. Customer walks in, stock not available. If he has entered the name of the customer and his phone number, the minute he leaves, let us say, 2 naal kalichi stock vandadu. Stock vanda odane, the minute we enter it into our ERP, since the ERP and the CRM have already shaken hands and there is a communication between the two, there is an automatic message that goes even without the knowledge of the store guy, without the knowledge of the state head. There is a communication that is going, hey, the phone that you had asked for is now available in the same Sai Baba Colony store. Please pick it up. We have limited stocks. So this way, we have been able to, see, otherwise how do you run 800 stores? It's impossible. And we are going on expanding further. So these are some of the few things. Of course, there are many more things. Now coming to, I move to the next subject. In the digitization itself, some of the other things that we have done is, CFL, the bulbs have gone. The store guy places an order. So many bulbs in my store are not glowing. The respective admin has to ship the stocks. If he has, he ships. Otherwise, he has to buy. He has to procure. But which supplier is he procuring from? So, procure to pay. We have recently bought one software where it just sends out. First time you have to upload all the suppliers, existing supplier plus suppliers whom you have not dealt with, or some supplier who supplied to you 5 years ago but somewhere you lost contact. So there cannot be any sort of favoritism. It automatically sends out the request, the order, or it asks for a quote, and everybody can online order. This is a new thing which we have recently started, and இதுல சுத்தமா favoritism பண்ணவே முடியாது, சான்ஸே இல்லை. So this is one of the things recently that we started. அப்புறம் there are 800 stores, there are at least 6 people in each store, and the mood of the guy, வீட்டில் சண்டை போட்டு வந்திருக்கலாம், he may not have attended the customer properly in spite of your best efforts. So the customer may go and write. We live in a world where so much of social media. So ஒரு ஆள் போய் ஏதோ சங்கீதா அங்கே மேடல் நின்றுட்டு என்னென்னவோ பேசுகிறாங்க சார், பட் அவர் கஸ்டமர் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்சஸ் நல்லா இல்லை சார். ஸ்டோரில் போனால் அங்கே போகாதீங்க, வாங்காதீங்க, அங்கே எழுதிடுவாங்க. So easy. And everybody is a journalist nowadays. In fact, to one post there will be immediately tack, there will be 5 other posts. You know, the human tendency. So how do you track all these things? We have software where the Twitter, the Instagram, the Snapchat, the Facebook, the Google My Business, in fact, all possible, some 30 odd such platforms I am told. All of them on one particular software, we are able to see and we are able to answer, including for example, the most commonly used WhatsApp also. So this is how it happens. We are able to address all these issues like this. Then sangeethamobiles.com. Customer comes into the site. Amazons and Flipkarts have got it beautifully right. For example, because their business model and their whole the entire company runs on that, and over a period of time, last 20 years, they have mastered it. Now we are also working on it, which is எந்த பேஜுக்கு வந்தாரு post hog அப்படின்னு சொல்லி, there is one solution what we are using, by which we are able to actually analyze as to where the customer is spending maximum time, and how many actually dropped off, at what stage did they drop off, cart add பண்ணி drop பண்ணாங்களா இல்ல, see, we are able to really get a lot of insight using that post hog. These are some of the things, and let me just I've made a note. Then the most important thing, every day there is a new model coming. 800 stores எப்படி train பண்றது? Every day there is a new model coming, and then there are some SOPs that you have to train them. New staff are getting recruited. So we have a training module where using that, the effectiveness of the training is very good. For example, நாங்க ஒரு PPT அனுப்புறோம். அந்த PPTல எவ்வளவு ஸ்லைடு பார்த்தா ஆமா தெரியாது. See, he may have just அனுப்புறது ஹெட் ஆஃபீஸ் வேலை, அவன் பார்க்கறது பார்க்காம இருக்கிறது அவனோட வேலை. And how much concentration he has put into it, we don't know. But in this module that we are using now, we know exactly how much time on each slide he has spent and whether he has actually gone through all the slides or not. So this is, and similarly, task management is also possible with the module that we are using. That is, for example, recently what we did away with in fact, one of our friends just now was talking about no printers, and I could relate to it immediately. In Sangeetha, we have stopped using hard copy bill, but all our staff who are old fashioned, who are outdated, they are saying, sir, customer திட்டுறாங்க sir, bill hard copy வேணாம் sir ன்னு சொல்றாங்க sir. Is the standard day in day out I get this complaint. But believe me, hard copy இருந்தா feedback இல்ல நம்மளுக்கு. இப்போ WhatsAppல பில் போறதுனால I get the one, for customer also it's very convenient. He doesn't lose the bill even for the 1 year warranty period that he has to claim. It's very easy for him to keep it in his phone. Two, most important, every day morning, even though I run 800 stores, especially recently that has been beautifully coming, 8 to 8:30 I sit and analyze all the customer feedbacks. Still right now we are getting hardly 5-6% of the customers are actually giving their feedback. We are taking some steps to make more customers give a feedback. But at the feedback vandadum, for example, this gentleman here, Mr. Rajendra, he is taking care of Coimbatore. At least once in 2-3 days he will get one ping from me every day morning within 8:30 saying so and so customer is unhappy with so and so store regarding so and so transaction. Immediately attend to it. This could not have been possible. In fact, all these years we did not do this, and I love it. I really love it. And customers are next day they are immediately answering. I am delighted to note that your guy got back and solved our problem. Illana avan engeyo poi mouthshed.com lo poduvan. Then so you know so these things are definitely helping us and making life very easy, and we are able to accelerate faster. Then see, let's take it. The employees at the store, sometimes they do indulge in some things which are not ethical, right? For example, build for, not that I'm not saying that they happen only in Sangeeta, they happen everywhere. Collected, the employee thinks na ipa bill kudukala, so I can play around. So he has billed for X, collected X plus. He can't play a fool. All these things are all now a thing of the past. Then similarly, we have asked him to put up some poster. For example, from 1st of this month on MX cards, there is a 7,500 rupees cashback. Immediate instant discount. MX card on the podam. 10%, maximum 7,500, instant discount. So we have done a poster, creative, and sent it to all the stores on mail. They're supposed to take a printout, color printout, and put it up. Whether he has put it up or not, all the 800 stores through the new training module that we are using now, ella 800 store la na panirkana illana I can track. Then with this digital bill, because the customer, I have somehow got him into the digital space by taking his number. Wherever in the social listening, all those things are also we have started tracking. What else? Yeah, this procure to pay. With that, we are able to track and do the asset management, asset numbering, life cycle management of purchases. For example, 800 stores into a minimum of 2 or 3 ACs, so 2,500, so many ACs are there. So when was that AC last repaired? Today there is an AC repair. When was it last repaired? Is it worth repairing again or should it be replaced? So all that we are able to now track and thereby improve the efficiencies. Then we had another major problem. Because Sangeeta in Karnataka or Sangeeta in Andhra, Telangana is definitely we are number one. So there are other mom and pop store guys who are calling them as Sangeeta. They will remote THL, or he'll change the font. And even on the site, they are using Sangeeta, some picture and putting their number and saying you call us, we will deliver it. We will only deliver. He is pushing the customer, don't come, I will only come. It's a fake Sangeeta. So there is a tool recently we have started using it which tracks all these fake ones. It's called Zekeppa, ZCEPPA. So we have started tracking the fake listings using this tool. Similarly, then the other thing is customer care. Now, again, customer care, we use a software. I think it's pretty common. Most of the, call waiting, then call assigning, all these things we are able to track. Then payroll. Payroll is a pain. We have 3,000 employees on rolls. We have another 3,000 employees off rolls who are not paid by us, but they are provided by Samsung, Oppo, Vivo, MI, Apple. So, but we maintain records of them also because we want we filter nowadays. Earlier we never used to do this, but of late we have started interviewing those promoters also. Unless they are signed off, they are not allowed into the store. The brand is paying them, but he has to be qualified to enter into Sangeeta. So all these records have to be maintained. So we used to use a software called Zing HR, and recently our people have moved into a different software. All these tools are available in the market, but yes, they all cost money. They all are expensive. Sometimes we feel, is this worth it at all? But believe me, we are able to sleep better. We are able to improve our efficiencies, and with all these things, the overall customer experience at the stores, we are able to enhance and improve all the time. These are some of the things, and as I said, there would be many more that we are using, but this is about it. And in Sangeeta, we have some very, very unique things that we do. That is, every phone sold in Sangeeta comes with a default damage protection, default price drop protection. All these things we in-house we built it. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into that. This is not the space for that. So this is from my side. And recently, in fact, the last 2 days, yesterday we had a session with the Deloitte team. I was just mentioning to you, Padiraj, team from Deloitte, because Sangeeta's ambition is to go IPO. 2 years from now, we want to be a listed company. This year we are trending around 2,500 crores, but what I am given to understand is you should be at least 4,000 crores to get a decent valuation. So how do we, in fact, I was liking the word that they used, and let me use the same word. How do you sweat your 800 stores? How do you sweat your 3,000 employees was the word that the team from Deloitte was using. So how do you fast forward the growth? If we are growing at 15-20% per year, how do we double that growth? What are the new avenues? Where do we, should we go into other markets? For example, Chennai Mobiles, Supreme Mobiles, Purvika Mobiles, Sangeeta Mobiles. This much of competition is not there in a Orissa or a Bihar or a Madhya Pradesh or a Maharashtra. All this is there only in South India. This type of an organized retail chain under a concept Sangeeta was the first one, then Universal came, then Purvika came. Universal, unfortunately, is no more in there. It just vanished. So it's a very difficult business, as you all know. It's a very, very tough business. But Sangeeta has been growing. Sangeeta is, and 100% we are a family-run business. We are a family-owned business. We have not diluted one share also. We are a 48-year-old. Sometimes, in fact, recently we hired one ISB pass out as the head of Omnichannel. And once he came on board, he was saying, "Sir, the fact that you are a 48-year-old company itself may be our minus point. So people want young brands. They want to buy or deal with young brands. In fact, that is the topic that day in, day out we are talking nowadays. How do you make the brand young? So, recently we hired, or rather we started talking to Deloitte and others, how to fast forward the growth and what are the new initiatives. For example, refurbishing. Refurbished phones is a huge market, massive market. So right now it's very, very unorganized. I don't know if many of you are aware, or some of you may be aware. What phone should your old phone fetch? What price should your old phone fetch under the Bandhu? There are diagnostics apps nowadays in the phones, and by using those diagnostics app, it just throws out the price. It does all the testing within 3-4 minutes and it throws out the price. We want our boys to use this, but our boys at the stores don't use it. So we are trying to streamline ways and methods to tie their hands so that they use this only. Ilana, they'll call, buy. This is what our fellows are here and they do the same thing day in and out. Okay? So we don't want them to, we want it to be very transparent and it's very difficult. We live in a Delhi in fact ஒரு 10 வருஷத்துக்கு முதல் ஜுகாட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி யாரோ ஏதோ ஒரு வேர்ட் சொன்னாரு. ஜுகாட்னா என்னன்னு கேட்டா ஜுகாட் தெரியாதா? क्या बात सुभाष तुम्हें जुगाड़ मालूम नहीं? So அப்போ தெரியல, but nowadays I think you know and some of them may know here. Jugaadna, for everything they want to do some golmaal. So we are a golmaal, we were experts in that. So our guys also keep trying to do some jugaads every day and we have to always, keep coming out with ways and means to block those jugaads. So this is it from my side and we are coming out with, in fact, just to tell you, from gramophone to smartphone was our journey, I told you, has been our journey, I told you. From mobile to automobile is the new journey that we have already started. Some of our stores, we have already placed the e-vehicles because I feel e-vehicle is a future sunrise industry. And in fact, in Bangalore, all our stores are charging points. All Sangeeta mobile showrooms, 130 of them are charging points. Bounce is a new vehicle who have launched their own vehicle. In fact, if you download Bounce app, all the charging stations in that app are all Sangeeta only. And there is a new model, for some of the benefit of some of the people that are here, I would also like to share that electric vehicle usually starts from around 70,000 or 60,000. The cheaper models do not have range, they cannot go at a higher speed. But now there is a new model called BAS, that is battery as a service. Battery vaanga theva illa. You can buy the electric vehicle without the battery. Battery every day you can go and swap the battery. So again, in Bangalore, all Sangeeta showrooms are battery swapping stations also. Battery charging points also, battery swapping stations also. Battery charge பண்ணனும்னா 40 நிமிஷம் நிக்கணும் இல்ல. Who has the time to wait for 40 minutes? So we have got, in fact, some companies, a lot of companies are investing in this, alternative energy and battery charging and all these things are alternative energy sources. So we feel this is a very bright spot in future and like how mobile this last 25 years has transformed Sangeeta and made Sangeeta a popular brand. So we feel electric vehicle is something which is an upcoming thing. Though yes, mobile has still a lot of juice left in it because 5G, then 6G, technology is a happening space all the time. So this is it from my side and if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to try and answer. Yes, sir.
Very good evening, sir. This is Sendel from Kota Gold. We run a jewelry store. First of all, I want to tell you yourself are a jugaad, just for the sake, because you said, your son has not come and you have replaced him. But at the same time, it doesn't look like, you are the 20s and we are the 60s. So you don't seem to be having any doubts on the digitalization. What I wanted to
thank you.
Yeah. And definitely I'm sure you have energized everybody around. At the same time, I also want to know, so how do you manage your time, because we struggle with our time management. So how do you manage considering that you're 20?
Considering I'm 20, oh my god, okay. Well, I'm fitter than my son, I can definitely tell you that. I start my day 5:30 in the morning. Okay, see, it's about, a long time back, almost about 10 years back, I was attending some retail guru. There was some motivational speaker or some retail lessons, do's and don'ts in business, how can you, something like that. So in fact, the guru was a Jain, incidentally, a Marwadi. So he said, he took his own example, his community example. In Marwadis, they don't leave the cash counter and go. They open a store, the boss will sit at the cash counter. But that is the biggest blunder he is doing, because the cash can be handled by a 15,000 or a 10,000 rupee clerk, but the owner is doing that job. So this is something which unfortunately they don't want. They feel, if they leave the cash counter, something will happen. They are feeling so because they are probably dealing in number 2 business. But as long as today, everything is becoming formal, everything is white, with the GST, with the demonetization, with a lot of all these things, and people's thought process also has changed. People are more than willing and happy to pay tax, pay GST, pay income tax, everything, and follow the order. So once you follow the order, for example, from 1974 to 2002, we had 1 store. 2002 to 2022, we have 800 stores. So my time, how did I get time? It all started once I left the store. As long as I was sitting in the store, I would have been 1 store only. I had to come out of the store to be able to watch what is happening in the store from a distance and plan. In fact, we as owners of the business, we have to invest more time in designing our business and in dropping some of the things what we have to drop in, and we end up doing. We shouldn't be doing, we should be designing, and we should be dropping, and we should be strategizing for the future. I'm sure this is not great rocket science, and I'm sure all of you know it. So this is a small correction that I did in my style. In fact, my mobile hardly rings, and some of the people who come and sit with me, they ask me, how come you are enappa 800 kada otra mobile call var matendradhu unakku. See, things are organized. We have professionals in place. We have a COO from ex-Shopper Stop Future Group. We have a CFO. We have a Renumudu CA. We have 50 plus finance team. In fact, that's again bad. Digitization, artificial intelligence, 50 பேர் எதுக்கு இருக்கணும்? So we are working on that. In fact, we have taken up that task now. So whatever is repetition, the technology should do. Whatever is an exception, only a human being should do, isn't it?
Good evening, sir. Yeah. My name is Harsha. We're into a manufacturing business, but I just want to know, as an entrepreneur, maybe you're forced to take a lot of decisions, and usually the decision making has to be pretty fast for a good speed of growth. So usually how long do you wait to make a decision, make or break a decision, and what happens when your decision goes wrong? How do you get back?
Yes, I am a fellow who goes by my gut. I am not a fellow who goes by data. And today's experts will say you are not the right guy. You have to follow data, is what many experts will say. And I am the odd fellow out. I am not the fellow who actually, because in my growing up years there was no data to go by. So my gut is what I used to go by. All my decisions have been by my gut. And when decisions go wrong is what you asked. I have had two big decisions which went wrong in my life. One was to start our own mobile brand. In fact, we did that big blunder of starting our own mobile brand. And not once, twice. So once we were too much ahead of time. Before Micromax, before Carbon, before Lava, 2002 la own brand launch panna. We were all India's number one from 97 to 2002 in the mobile retailing. With one store. With just one store, we were all India number one month on month for every brand. We were only in Bangalore, we were only on JC Road, but we were number one. Because 95% of the sale or 98% of the sale was all grey market. Legal, very few stores across the country. In those very few stores, Sangeeta always used to be number one. We used to take big risks, buy big. In fact, we had done some industry firsts, many industry firsts. Like we were the ones who introduced insurance on mobile phone way back in 1997. We were the ones who introduced EMI on mobile phone. People think Apple introduced EMI on mobile. It is not Apple, it is Sangeeta who introduced EMI on mobile way back in 1997. So, in and as I said, we did two or three stupid decisions. In fact, 2 times we launched our own brand of mobile. First time we launched on CDMA platform. Because when CDMA was coming, 2002 is when CDMA came. In 2002, incoming was being charged on GSM. And incoming on Spice Telecom, I was selling Spice SIM cards those days, 7 rupees 80 paisa per minute. Incoming. And with a monthly rental of 506 rupees. So, when CDMA was coming, they said CDMA incoming free. Unlimited incoming free. And Korea was on CDMA, Japan was on CDMA, US was on CDMA, and CDMA was a better technology for data. They said CDMA is the best. GSM is not as good as CDMA for data. We didn't know what data was. We were hearing data. Today we understand data. That day, those days we didn't know what data was. But on the time, Sangeeta is number one in GSM. Now, CDMA hit Sangeeta will get left behind. Our own brand, I could have opened one CDMA store. Rather, one stupid thing what we did was we went to Taiwan, finalized one manufacturer, got it, and we became the supplier to Tata. When Tata launched CDMA in India, Sangeeta was the supplier to Tata. Tata launched with one LG phone and one Eurotel phone. Eurotel was our brand. So within 1.5 years, we had to pack up. Because CDMA did not take off at all. CDMA was branded as a poor man's mobile. Thanks to Reliance 501 rupee scheme. So who wants to be called as a poor man? Nobody wants to be called as a poor man. So that was one blunder. Second blunder, then okay, that 2002 happened. Then 2007, we started another company called for a distribution company. We were the Sony Ericsson distributors. Then we were the Spice mobile distributor. Spice was the first Indian brand. After Spice came Micromax. We were the largest distributor for them. We were the distributors for entire South India. I used to supply to Universal, Purvika, Dixie in Andhra. For everybody we used to supply. We were so big. We used to sell 1.5 lakh phones. In fact, 1,000 crores of business only with feature phones we did with Micromax within 3 years. So at that time, everybody said, "You're doing so well, why don't you launch your own brand?" I said, "No, we will not." One fine day, we had some tiff with Micromax. We quit Micromax. Then next 2-3 years, we didn't have any distribution. We didn't do. Then we said, "Arey, we are not able to finalize any brand, let's launch our own brand." But first time, we were ahead of time, 2002, launching CDMA and a wrong platform. Second time, we were slightly delayed. When we launched our own brand of mobile, we called it VAM Mobiles. In fact, because my dad comes from gramophone records business, and there used to be a famous pop music singer, George Michael. The name of the album was VAM. I don't know if Western music follow பண்றவர் யாருன்னா இருந்தா அவருக்கு தெரியும். George Michael VAM. So VAM ன்னு பேர் வச்சாரு. Because we named it VAM, we signed Chris Gale as our brand ambassador. because I had somewhat stepped into cricket also. We had our own cricket team. Karnataka Premier League, I owned one team, Belgavi Panthers. So because I was associated with cricket, got Chris Gale as our brand ambassador, VAM as the brand, we burned some 25 crores losses. So, sorry, long answer for a simple question. Yes, that's the way I used to take decisions. But I used to, I am telling you, because today there are so many professionals, they don't allow me to take the decisions like this, and I don't like it. Nothing happens. They are all the time debating. They are giving pros and cons, and life is not moving. And I just don't like it. I think 9 o'clock, dinner time. We can break. We are done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chandra, for sharing great insights with us and answering the questions. I am sure members of the audience have derived valuable takeaways from your session. I humbly invite you to accept the token of appreciation from us for sharing your valuable time and knowledge at Evolve 2022. I request Mr. K. Rajiv, Geography Head, MEG South 2, to felicitate the token of appreciation.